Welcome to Digital Rage. I'm Jeff, the producer here at Byer Company, and it is episode 30. Just wanted to acknowledge that. This has been a pretty fun journey, and we're going to keep it going. Today is part 5 of our cybersecurity marketing series. Today we're talking about why your cybersecurity marketing isn't connecting, and it may be a lack of education. Check it out.
You know how sometimes really complex topics, maybe like cybersecurity, they can just feel, well, dense. Or maybe you hear about the threats and yeah, they sound important, but they don't quite feel like they're about you, right now.
Well, absolutely. That feeling of disconnect. It's super common. It could be information overload, maybe too much tech talk.
Right.
Or just that sense that, it's a problem for someone else, not me. So these crucial subjects end up feeling kind of distant.
Exactly. And that disconnect, that's precisely what we're diving into today. We're looking at some material that really tackles this communication challenge, specifically in cybersecurity marketing.
Right.
How do you actually connect a vital message, but one that's often complex, with an audience that maybe thinks, man, that's not my problem?
Well, the article we're digging into asks that exact question, pretty much. Why your cybersecurity marketing isn't connecting.
Okay.
And it gives a really direct answer. It boils down to basically a lack of education.
A lack of education. Okay, let's unpack that a bit. The source puts it quite bluntly, doesn't it? Something like, you can't sell a solution to a problem your audience doesn't believe they have.
That's the heart of it, yeah. The core issue is often like the audience, maybe especially the non-technical buyers, they either don't fully get the actual risks involved, or maybe more often, they just don't believe that specific problem applies to their situation, their company, their data. These abstract threats, they just don't feel urgent.
So if they don't really understand the what of the threat, or truly believe the why it matters to me part, then your whole message about how great your solution is, it just sort of bounces off.
Precisely. It doesn't land. So the article suggests a pretty powerful way around this. It's a strategy really built around education and what it calls thought leadership.
Okay.
It argues that by teaching your audience first, you naturally build awareness about the risk. You create that sense of urgency because they start seeing why it matters now. And this is critical. You build trust.
So the path isn't really selling a product initially. It's more like selling understanding.
You got it.
And the source actually gives some pretty concrete ways to do this teaching, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. It outlines several key approaches for, effectively educating your audience to build that foundation you need.
Okay, so what's the first one? I think they mentioned something about timing.
Yes, exactly. The first one they emphasize is starting with why now? Why this? It's all about anchoring the threat right in the present moment, making it timely.
Right, grounding it.
Yeah. The source really stresses using current events or ongoing trends to make it immediately relevant. So, for example, instead of just talking generally about ransomware, you might discuss how, say, recent global events or maybe the big shift to hybrid work is making certain industries or maybe companies of a certain size more vulnerable today.
Okay, so it takes it from being this theoretical risk to an immediate concern. Like, okay, because of X and Y happening right now, you're more exposed to this.
Exactly that. Or maybe explaining how new tech, like AI, is changing phishing attacks, right? Making them harder to spot, and why that means you need a different approach today.
Gotcha.
It's about leading with that immediate relevance before you even whisper about a solution.
That makes a lot of sense. Establish the why should I care now first.
True.
Okay, and then the next strategy they talk about, that's about making these abstract threats more concrete, right? Using real-world scenarios.
Yeah, because abstract risks are just, well, they're easy to dismiss, aren't they?
Totally.
But the source points out that specific, relatable stories, they're much harder to ignore.
So instead of just saying, data breaches cost a lot of money.
Right.
You might actually walk someone through a scenario, like a hypothetical.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe describe step-by-step what actually happens if, say, an employee clicks on one particular kind of malicious link.
Okay.
You could use an anonymized example, a real breach, but with the names changed, and show the specific consequences it had for a company that's, similar to your audience.
Oh, I see.
Or even show a kind of before and after, here was a vulnerability, here's how it was exploited, and here's what happened after it was fixed.
That really helps the audience picture themselves in that situation, doesn't it? They can imagine their own team, their own business, facing that exact problem.
It really does. It transforms it from just a statistic, a risk percentage, into a narrative, something the listener can connect with more personally. It makes the threat feel, well, tangible.
Okay, so you grab their attention with the why now stuff, make it feel real with scenarios. What's the final pillar of this teaching approach that the source really pushes?
The source strongly advocates for basically generously offering free educational value. Giving stuff away.
Right.
This is where that thought leadership idea really comes into play. Not just talking about expertise, but actively giving helpful information.
Teach before you pitch. Is that the idea?
Precisely, yeah. The article highlights a bunch of ways companies can do this, like host webinars and invite people who aren't even customers yet just to learn about current threats. Or create, say, downloadable checklists, or maybe toolkits that help businesses assess their own risk, or even implement some basic protections themselves.
Okay, practical tools.
Yeah, or share detailed how-to guides, maybe blog series explaining complex topics, but in really clear, simple language.
So it's really about becoming a trusted resource, isn't it? Someone they turn to for understanding first.
Absolutely. The source is very clear on this. Thought leadership, in this context anyway, isn't really measured by how much you talk at people. It's measured by how much genuine value you actually give away in the form of helpful educational content.
And the underlying idea, I guess, is the more helpful you are, the more trust you build up over time, which, I mean, that feels like a principle that goes way beyond just cybersecurity or even marketing.
It really does. It's fundamental, isn't it? Whether you're, explaining a health issue or a complex financial strategy or a technical risk, building understanding and providing real value first, that builds credibility.
The source kind of sums this all up with a phrase that really stuck with me. The smartest marketers teach first.
Yeah, that line really captures the whole essence, doesn't it? It's all about enabling the buyer, helping them gain confidence, get some clarity about the threat landscape, understand where they might be vulnerable, and then start exploring the options out there. And if you're the brand that helped them navigate all that confusion, well, you're already halfway there, aren't you? You've started building that crucial trust you need for any kind of potential partnership or sale down the line.
And the article wraps up with a pretty powerful statement, too, something like, the companies that win are the ones that teach best.
It's a very direct link they're drawing between being a leader in education within your space and actually achieving market success, especially in complex fields like cyber.
So, thinking about this, for you, listening right now, understanding this whole dynamic, it isn't just for marketers, is it?
Not at all.
It really highlights the incredible power of clear explanation, of providing genuine value whenever you encounter complex information yourself, or maybe when you need to communicate it.
Yeah.
Could be cybersecurity, could be health choices, financial planning, you name it. It just shows how focusing on teaching, on fostering real understanding, can cut through all the noise and build a genuine connection.
Which does raise a pretty interesting question for all of us, I think. If prioritizing genuine understanding, teaching first, if that really is the most effective way to connect and build trust in these complex areas, what does that suggest about the responsibility of, well, anyone who's communicating critical information? Is the main goal just to, inform or push a message? Or is there maybe a deeper obligation there to really ensure genuine understanding comes first, even before you start thinking about selling something or persuading someone to agree with you?
That's a really provocative thought to end on. Definitely something to chew on.
Reach out to us at jbyer.com for comments and questions. Follow us at Byer Company on social media. And if you'd be so kind, please rate and review us in your podcast app.